The season 2 finale of HBO's The Newsroom was set on election night 2012. Skyping with his blogger girlfriend, a young cable news producer gloats about traditional media having about 80 million viewers that night. Her retort? Yeah, and most of the results are appearing on Twitter first. A lot of people cite Twitter these days as their primary news source, but Twitter doesn't have a newsroom or reporters in the field. It's a collection of reports and observations and opinions from journalists and, yes, millions of just regular folks. When the awful news broke Monday morning about the shootings at the Navy Yard in Washington, there's a strong chance you first learned of it on Twitter. Maybe it was via the feed of a CNN journalist or a local reporter or a friend or a celebrity commenting on the news. The now too familiar cycle then started to spin. A flurry of news reports, some of them speculative, some solidly sourced and vetted. Twitter dominated by updates and prayers and, of course, the inevitable calls for legislation advancing one agenda or another. While the CNNs and Fox News channels of the world provided continuing coverage, the broadcast channels stuck mostly with daytime comfort food viewing, female-friendly talk shows, stern judges settling rent disputes, idiots submitting to paternity tests while rabid audiences heckled. We're now in the secondary phase of news coverage. Heartbreaking profiles of the victims, inspirational stories about first responders, miraculous tales of survival, post-mortem analyses of the shooter. Folks on Twitter wondering if something will finally be done about all these mass shootings. Sadly, we know the answer. Nothing will be done. A month or two will go by, and then one morning we'll wake up and check our Twitter feed, and we'll see the disturbing flood of posts about another shooting in another town. And once again, new media and old media will combine to deliver the news in ways we just couldn't have imagined just a few years ago.